What if I told you that working the same job in two of the world's greatest cities could mean the difference between building a life and just surviving? UK versus USA, 2026. The truth nobody's talking about. Two countries, one language, but two completely different realities when it comes to money, lifestyle, and survival. Millions of people every year dream of moving to either the UK or the USA. But here's the thing, most of them don't know what's actually waiting for them when they arrive. Today, we go deep. We compare rent, food, transport, salaries, healthcare, and we reveal the hidden truths that the internet never tells you. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which country gives you more life for your money in 2026. Let's begin. Let's start with the one thing that controls your entire life: rent. In London, right now, in 2026, a one-bedroom apartment in a decent area, not even Zone 1, we're talking Zone 2, will cost you around £1,800 to £2,200 per month. Think about that. That's before food, before transport, before anything. Now let's fly to New York City. Same deal, one bedroom, decent neighborhood, somewhere like Brooklyn or Queens. You're looking at $2,800 to $3,500 per month. Okay, so New York sounds more expensive, right? Here's where it gets interesting. The average salary in the UK for a professional role sits around £35,000 to £40,000 per year. In the USA, that same role, closer to $60,000 to $85,000. So yes, New York costs more, but Americans are also being paid significantly more. Run the numbers. In London, rent can eat up 50 to 60% of your take-home pay. In New York, with a higher salary, it can actually be less punishing, depending on your field. This is where people get it wrong. They compare costs without comparing incomes, and that changes everything. Now, food, because we all have to eat. In the UK, a weekly grocery shop for one person, sensible, not fancy, runs around £60 to £80 per week. In the USA, you're spending roughly $80 to $120 per week for the same basket. But here's what shocks people. Eating out in the UK has become eye-wateringly expensive. A sit-down meal at a mid-range restaurant in London, easily £20 to £35 per person. And don't forget the 12.5% service charge they quietly add at the bottom. In America, that same experience might cost you $25 to $50, but portion sizes? Enormous. Americans are not joking around with food. Street food and fast food are cheaper in the US overall. A meal deal in a British supermarket, £3.50 to £4, still feels like a bargain, but the quality of cheap food in America can also be, let's say, an adventure. Here's the quiet truth. The UK's food costs have spiked dramatically since 2022. Inflation hit British supermarkets hard and never really recovered. American grocery prices rose too, but wages followed. Transport. And this is where the UK and USA could not be more different. In London, a monthly travel card to get around Zones 1 and 2 costs around £165 to £180 per month. That's just for the tube and buses. No car needed. The system works, even if it's crowded and delayed and occasionally smells like someone's bad decisions. In most American cities outside of New York, you need a car. Full stop. In cities like Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Phoenix, there is no real public transport. You drive everywhere. A car payment, insurance, fuel, parking, you're easily looking at $700 to $1,000 per month. New York is the exception. Their metro is around $132 per month for unlimited travel, actually cheaper than London. But for most of America, transport is a hidden tax that nobody puts in the brochure. Okay, let's talk about money, real money. In the UK, the national minimum wage in 2026 sits at around £11.44 per hour. Not bad for entry level. But after tax and national insurance, your take-home is modest. In the USA, minimum wage varies by state. Federal minimum is still painfully low, $7.25 per hour, though states like California and New York have pushed it closer to $17 to $20. But here's where America pulls ahead dramatically: professional salaries. A software engineer in London might earn £70,000 to £90,000. The same engineer in San Francisco or Seattle, $150,000 to $200,000, sometimes more. A doctor in the UK's NHS earns around £50,000 to £100. In the US, that same specialty, easily $250,000 to $400,000. The gap is staggering. But, and this is a massive but, America takes that money back in other ways. Which brings us to the part of this video people never see coming. This is the section that changes minds. Healthcare. In the UK, you get sick, you go to the doctor for free. Full stop. The NHS covers GP visits, emergency care, most surgeries. Yes, there are waiting times. Yes, it's under pressure. But nobody in Britain has ever gone bankrupt from a hospital bill. In America, a single night in the hospital can cost $10,000 to $30,000. An ambulance ride, $1,000 to $3,000. Having a baby, up to $15,000 without insurance. You won't believe this. Medical debt is the #1 cause of personal bankruptcy in the United States. Not bad investments, not job loss, medical bills. Now, yes, most employed Americans have health insurance through work, but it's not free. Premiums, deductibles, copays. The average American family spends $6,000 to $12,000 per year on healthcare costs, even with insurance. In the UK, you pay national insurance, roughly 8 to 12% of your salary, and healthcare is covered. Done. Hidden truth number 2, job security. In the UK, you have strong employment protections, unfair dismissal laws, redundancy pay, maternity and paternity leave that is actually generous. You can't just be fired on a Monday morning for no reason. In America, most states are at-will employment. Your employer can let you go at any moment, no reason required. One email, one meeting. Done. Hidden truth number 3, holidays. UK workers are legally entitled to 28 days of paid holiday per year. Americans? The federal government mandates 0. None. It's entirely up to your employer. The average US worker gets 10 to 15 days, and many don't even take those. Think about what that means for your life. So who wins? Here's the honest answer. It depends on who you are. If you are ambitious, skilled in tech, medicine, finance, or law, and you are willing to sacrifice security for income, America can make you wealthy in ways the UK simply cannot match. The ceiling is higher, the rewards are bigger, the energy is electric. But if you value stability, work-life balance, free healthcare, and a system that catches you when you fall, the UK offers something money can't easily replace: security, dignity, rest. The USA pays you more, but it also charges you more, in ways you don't always see coming. The UK pays you less, but quietly protects you in ways you only appreciate when something goes wrong. In 2026, as the cost of living crisis reshapes both nations, one truth has become undeniable. Neither country is perfect, but both can be a good life if you know what you're walking into. The people who thrive, they go in with open eyes. Not Instagram fantasies, not YouTube highlight reels. The real numbers, the real trade-offs, the real life. I want to leave you with this. Wherever you are in the world, whether you're dreaming of London streets or New York lights, your dream is valid. But dreams built on real information last longer than dreams built on assumptions. Do the research, run your numbers, ask people who actually live there, and then go build your life on your terms. Now I want to hear from you. If you had to choose right now, UK or USA, which one would you pick and why? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to see this before they make a big decision. I'll see you in the next one.